What is up, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Four-Man Blitz. We're three-man blitz right now, but we got to my left, we got Nico Hernandez, aka WeSportin. Below me, we have BroadSports, aka Kevin Cohen, whichever way you want to flip it. If you guys want to introduce yourselves for the first episode really quick, go ahead.
Hi, I'm WeSportin, and I'm him. That's all. That's all.
Broad, do you want to introduce yourself?
What's going on, guys? My name is Kevin Cohen. You may know me on TikTok as BroadSports and the host of the BroadSports podcast. And I'm excited to get to work, boys.
It's Kevin of Cohen, actually.
So even though it looks today like we're doing an NFC East show with two NFC East guys, the whole point of the show is to have four different perspectives, which once our fourth member is here, we will get that. So we have a few topics to go over. So first, we're going to talk about KYLER's contract, which was a bit ridiculous. So who wants to talk about KYLER's contract first? Who wants to start off, KYLER?
I open the floor to Nico.
All right, Nico, let's talk about KYLER's contract, baby.
Talk about it. So give me the numbers again, just so I get like a perspective of how much like everything. I believe it was
a 5 year, right?
It was 5 years, 230 million with 160 million of it guaranteed.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
So here's the thing. So when you look at it into the perspective of how big that contract is, and you look at it from the perspective of a guy like Deshaun Watson's contract, that the contract doesn't look too bad. But this is the problem with KYLER Murray, is that KYLER Murray is so good, is a good quarterback. But the problem is that first he's a first half player guy. He's not a consistent quarterback. He just isn't. He's consistent from the first 7 weeks to 8 weeks of the NFL season. And then we kind of just don't see anything of KYLER Murray in the next 8 other weeks of the season. Now, whose fault? Who is this to blame? Is it Cliff Kingsbury? Yeah. Is it Cliff Kingsbury? Is it KYLER Murray himself? Is it the defense? It all comes down to the perspective of it. Now, do I believe that KYLER Murray deserved that money overall as a whole? Yeah, like what Rod's saying, it's this. Like I said, it's kind of it's not as bad as Deshaun Watson's deal, so that's the good thing. But do I think KYLER Murray should be getting paid top 3 money right now?
Yeah,
no. I think he's second. I think he's the second
highest paid player in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't believe that KYLER Murray should be getting paid top 2 money. I don't think so. I personally don't think so.
So
I think it was a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. I think it was over. I think it was an overpay, not to an extent. But it's an overpay, straight up. It's
all right. I'm gonna go next. So I'm kind of mixed on KYLER. So number one, the whole second half choke thing is completely stupid. All right, Cliff Kingsbury is a garbage second half of the year coach. Like, this has been proven. In his college career, he has a far worse second half of the year record than his first half. Same thing with the NFL so far. He just isn't a good second half of the year coach. I don't know if defenses just figure out what he's doing the second half. I don't know what it is, but he just isn't good at it. I think the issue with KYLER is everyone's last is like such a big thing with like recency bias, where everyone's last vision of KYLER Murray was that Rams playoff game, which was horrible. He played horrible in that game. Like, if we're being honest. So I think everyone's vision was that Rams game. And like, yes, it was an overpay, but his potential's so high. And if you're Arizona, who just got out of 10 years of being garbage, you can't let
6 or 7.
Yeah, 6 or 7. You can't let a franchise QB go. I understand that's a lot of money, but you just can't let your guy walk. If that's me. Absolutely. You don't find KYLER's walking down the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
definitely.
You're too short to find.
Okay. Had to be a short joke. So, Broad, how do you feel about this KYLER Murray contract?
I mean, I kind of agree with the both of you. It's hard to let KYLER Murray walk away knowing that he was your first overall pick in 2019. Do I believe that he should have gotten a new contract? Yes, absolutely, because we saw all the drama that happened after the Pro Bowl, where he deleted every single photo on his Instagram involving all Cardinals players. Yeah. And everyone thought he was going to the Packers because no one knew what the hell was going on with Aaron Rodgers, and all of his photos were with Packers coaches and stuff like that. But we've been seeing this a lot, where guys will hold out for their money. And so far, like KYLER and Terry McLaurin, they've held out and they've gotten their money.
Yeah, same thing with AJ.
Guys that still need to get, and AJ as well. Well,
Debo.
Debo got
paid, but I digress. But I don't think he deserves to be like top 2 paid in the NFL.
Yeah,
because he's a good quarterback. Do not get me wrong. He's definitely top 10 quarterback. I think all of us can agree on that.
Yeah.
Because he's very, I mean, yes, there's certain things that he could work on a little bit better, but I won't really dive into that right now. But I just don't know how he got that much money. But also, like what you said, Nico, it's not as bad as Deshaun's, knowing that Deshaun's, I'm pretty sure, was fully guaranteed.
Yes.
Right.
But the good thing about Deshaun's is Deshaun only has like 10 million this year, but like it's super backloaded, which is a good thing.
It's actually this much. It's I think only $1 million this season. Deshaun's only getting paid $1 million this season because they know that he's not going to play. So they're only going to.
Well, I mean, it could have been 10, but then I'm guessing that he spent $9 million in attorney fees. But that's just me.
Yeah. And another thing too is that what's wild, and I know that we're talking about Kyler Murray's contract, but I kind of want to digress to something kind of that we all going to agree on. What's wild is that in 5 years from now, and I kind of just thought about this today, 5 years from now, this Kyler Murray contract is going to look like petty cash. If you guys really think, And we saw like 5 years ago, Carson Wentz got signed to that huge deal, and we all thought that was going to be that was the big market for quarterbacks. And now it's $45 million. And now think about it, to like what, 5 years from now, not even when Herbert and Burrow and Tua want their money, and when if T-Law, if they obviously perform to these expectations that we're talking about, it's going to be in the 60 to 70 million per year range. And we're going to sit here and be like, it's not that bad of an overpay, but it's worth it to keep them. It's insane how the market just rises.
It just goes up and up and up.
Exactly.
And we saw that this year with wide receivers too. Wide receivers were getting paid around 16, 20 million. And we were saying, oh, okay, that's okay. That's good enough for them. That's how much they deserve. And then, let's just get the cat out of the bag.
$21 million.
Let's get the cat out of the bag. This is Christian Kirk's freaking fault, if we're being honest. Christian Kirk is the reason why.
And then I think AJ Brown
got 25.
And
I seriously think I think
only 67 of that is guaranteed.
Yeah, I seriously think if Christian Kirk didn't get his deal, it is far more likely AJ's on the Titans, because I think when Christian Kirk got his deal, because everyone who did it was an overpay. When he got his deal, all wide receivers were like, if I'm not getting 5-6 more than what he's getting, I'm not staying here. Like, there's no way. Because I mean, everyone knows in the NFL, Christian Kirk is not a top 15 receiver, right? Like So
like, I think the fact that DK Metcalf is still in Seattle is shocking. Wild to me.
Yeah,
I was very thinking he's going to get traded.
If I was DK Metcalf, I'd be like, okay, you don't want to pay me? All right, get me the hell out of here.
That's what AJ did. We just weren't close enough on the deal. He's like, I'm done. Leave. I'm done.
I think the reason, and another thing too, and I like how, as we're talking about this, we're going into all these new topics and all that. That's it's awesome. So one new thing, and I kind of want to talk to you guys about it, but I already know the answer, but I want your guys' perspective. Is it's so wild how back in the 90s and the early 2000s that every team used to value running backs as their gold mine to their offense. And now it's like, you want a running back? Oh, okay, here's $1 million per year. Here's your bag.
Yeah.
Why is it, and I guess in this perspective of why is the value of the running back going so low, when I believe that with teams like, I guess you can say Washington or Philadelphia, Baltimore, why is the value of running backs, even Tennessee a little bit, is just going down so much when they're, I think, one of the most important positions on the offense?
I think the issue really is that mostly offenses are shifting away from running the football. It's simple. I mean, if you look at it, the Chiefs don't run the football. The Bills don't run the football, and you can still win games running the football. But I think teams are realizing now it's less of a running back game and it's more of an offensive line game. Because you show with the Browns last year against the Broncos, Dearness Johnson, who, no offense, is a scrub, went in there in that game and had a ton of rushing yards just because that offensive line.
I think he had 100 something, maybe almost 200 something.
I think he had one. He had over the ones. So that's why there's generational guys, right? There's guys like Derrick Henry, and there's guys like Justin who kind of assert themselves over that prototypical running back role. But unless you land on a strike like that, you have kind of those more mediocre guys, and then it's more of a, we don't want to pay him, right? Because seriously, once you get out of the top 5, right? Once you get out of Henry, JT, Cook, Kamara, do you really want to pay Joe Mixon top 5 running back money when you could put that on an offensive line? No.
But here's the issue though, is that we're talking about this now, but all it's going to take is just one team to sit there and say, screw it. I'm gonna pay this guy big money because he's our guy. Obviously, we saw that in CMC
The
and
Panthers
Zeke.
did.
I know, but I'm saying that we saw that in CMC and Zeke. But as I'm saying, but the market has gone down since CMC and Zeke.
But
So all it's gonna take is a Jacksonville move, and that market also goes back up.
I don't think they will, just because the pure fact is, I mean, if you looked at, right, what the example you're saying, CMC got contract, especially, and Zeke's contract both didn't work out.
Yeah.
The only contract we've seen kind of work out so far is Derrick Henry's, who in his first contract he ran for 2,000 yards.
Yeah.
Right. So, but also
imagine,
Derrick Henry didn't have wear and tear because he didn't play his first 2 years.
Yeah. But imagine a guy like JT though. JT's gonna get a bag. He's gonna get paid more. He's Zeke and Derrick Henry combined. I mean, and now how much they're gonna pay him, I don't know. Roughly, what is Derrick Henry's annual contract right now? What is
he was like when he got paid, he was like the 7th highest in the league. I will look right now.
Okay, let me ask you this: what's CMC's per?
He's still number one.
I think I forget.
I think it's what,
but
it has to be.
Dearness Johnson against the Broncos, because I was looking it up while we were talking about it. 22 rushes for 146 yards and 1 touchdown. But I also want to say a lot of teams are going away from the running backs just because there's not really any more like run style offenses. Like a lot of teams, they are evolving into the RPO style offense, run pass options, where, okay, we're going to run a read option. If I can't get you, then I'll have my X receiver on a slant. And it's mainly because the evolution of the quarterback position, because us growing up in like the early 2000s, we had pocket passer guys like Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. And now the position is basically evolved into dual threat quarterbacks like Lamar, like Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, and guys like that. So it's mainly because of the evolution of the quarterback position and switching more to the run pass option style offense is why running backs aren't really valued anymore.
Yeah. So quickly, the most highest paid running backs is Christian McCaffrey at 16 a year. Then second 16? Is Alvin Kamara at 15. Then Zeke at 15, and then a big kind of drop off. Dalvin Cook at 12, Henry at 12.5, or Kamara or Cook was at 12.6, Henry at 12.5, then Nick Chubb 12.2. I think it also is.
JT will get paid $20 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it also too is that the simple fact that you can go in the 3rd round and draft. I mean, or even 2nd round, right? You saw Derrick Henry's 2nd round pick, John Taylor's 2nd round pick. You can go and get a 2nd round workhorse running back and run him till his shreds fall off, and then his contract year draft another running back and he just keeps on running the ball. Like, you don't have to pay him. It's
before we move on to the next topic, I really feel like for this run heavy team and like that we're talking about, I feel like the last time we're ever going to see something that was executed the way that we're talking about it right now is going to be that year that the Niners won the Super Bowl. That's going to be the last time that we're going to see a team that used 3, maybe 4 running backs in a game per game, just rushing the ball back and back and back. That
was also a time when fullbacks were actually valued, not just as extra blockers, but runners.
There's still like 5 active fullbacks. There's Blossom Gang. There's Juszczyk.
No, there's still almost every team has a fullback. All right, so we have some technical difficulties. We're going to go to our next topic now, which is going to be off of KYLER's contract. A big quarterback who hasn't been signed yet, Lamar Jackson.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So I'll start with BroadSports. Broad, how are you feeling about Lamar's upcoming contracts? He's going to have to get one eventually.
I find it astonishing that he hasn't been paid yet. I think he's going to hold out until he gets his money. I really do. Because with a guy like Lamar, yes, he's regressed since his MVP season. We can all agree on that. But he's still an amazing talent.
Yeah.
He's going to try to do everything he can in order to stay in Baltimore. But Baltimore's just got to pay him. And I saw this article before we began filming. And I think you guys are going to laugh at who actually said this. To Fox News, by the way, Jake Paul said that Lamar Jackson deserves more money than KYLER Murray.
Okay. Oh wait, he said Lamar deserves more than Kyler.
Yes.
I mean, that's not. I can agree. With
I
that.
mean,
Whoa,
I
wait,
agree, but it's just funny that Jake Paul, out of all people, said that.
Wait, while we're on the topic of the two, so Lamar said he was going to play the season, right? He said
Yes.
he was going to play the season. Do you think Kyler getting paid, not even on his contract year, do you think Kyler getting paid before him is going to make him be like, okay, what the hell, right?
It gives him leverage, honestly,
Lamar
because
was
Lamar's on a contract here.
Lamar was drafted 18, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's on a contract here.
Yeah.
So he'll just use Kyler's contract as leverage.
Yeah.
So kind of going, and I cannot believe that I'm saying this, but Jake, what Jake Paul is saying, I guess, about the contract, that he should be getting paid more than Lamar. No, he should be getting he should be getting paid more than Kyler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that to an extent. Now, obviously, Lamar is more accomplished
Yes.
than Kyler Murray, obviously. I don't think the gap of the payment of the money between Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson should be big at all, because I feel like, if we're going to take, obviously Lamar does have the MVP, but if we're looking at it overall, I don't know why they didn't sign him, extend him after the MVP year.
Exactly.
Lamar, I think, would have broken the quarterback market if he would have won the MVP, but now they're going to look at everything now. They only see now Lamar with the one playoff win, the one MVP. I think that money's going to be fluctuated a little bit. I don't think that if he gets paid more than Kyler, it is not going to be by that much. I don't see it.
I don't think that's really a strong. I don't think it's like a hot take, just because I think, look at it, right? If he gets paid a ton more than Kyler, he's going to be the number one paid quarterback by a mile.
Yeah, no, I understand. So
that's what I'm saying.
But does he deserve more money than Mahomes, though?
No.
Absolutely not.
I don't even think that, I think that him and Kyler are going to should be at the same amount, but I think that Lamar should have gotten Kyler's contract.
No, I don't even think that. So I think that's an overpay for anyone that's not Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely, but if we're going off of career stretch, and of what Lamar's done in his career, he's had one bad year, which was he was hurt. So if we're going to take that year off and we're just going to blind it for a second, Lamar's has been a more of a successful quarterback than guys like Josh Allen, he's been more successful than Josh Allen throughout his career.
More successful in what type? Josh Allen's won playoff games when Lamar's won one, and how many playoff trips he's been to? 2, 3?
Okay, that's a fair. Take out Josh Allen.
He's 1-3 in the playoffs.
Okay, let's go with guys like he should be okay. So Lamar should be probably getting paid more than guys like this, like Dak.
Yeah.
He should be getting paid more than Kyler. Probably
Dak's
getting paid more than Russell Wilson. Probably, actually, would you say he should be getting paid more than Russell?
Debatable.
It's debatable. Okay, what about getting paid more than Deshaun? Should Lamar have a bigger contract than Deshaun?
When they're on the field, I'm taking Deshaun, but the fact that Deshaun isn't on the field right now, I'd take Lamar.
I'm gonna agree with Dylan.
The question is who should be getting paid more? Deshaun Watson or Lamar Jackson?
On the field, Deshaun Watson.
Okay, that's fair.
I would honestly have to go with Deshaun Watson, mainly because their rushing is kind of similar to each other. Yes, Lamar's a little bit better.
Doesn't Deshaun and Lamar have the same amount of playoff wins?
Well, I mean, to be fair, you can look at team, and that kind of explains it.
No, I absolutely agree.
Let's not act like the Texans are on the same level as the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they have the same amount of playoff wins. So it's not like one is the successor over the other. It's not like.
But I think Deshaun has only had one playoff trip.
He's 1-2 in the playoffs.
Oh, 1-2.
1-2. Okay, all right. I don't know.
Yeah, because he lost.
I like playing the game though of who should be getting paid more. So like guys like Lamar or Stafford, who's going to get paid more? Probably Lamar.
I'm taking Stafford.
But who's going to get paid more? Lamar.
Lamar mainly because he's younger.
Yeah. But I think it also important thing to note though is like you can play this game of who should pay more? Who should get paid more, Kyler or Lamar, right? And obviously everyone's gonna be like, oh, Lamar should get paid more. But Kyler already got paid. And if you're the Ravens, are you giving respect? Like Lamar's a good player, but Tyler Huntley in that system last year played at a decent level. He was not MVP level, he was decent in that system. So
I
think
wouldn't
if
even say decent. He played
pretty good.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think my whole point is like,
I mean, hell, he took Aaron Rodgers down to the ropes.
are you giving a guy who you've seen success with a 6th round pick quarterback behind him? You've seen success with
Yeah.
him in that offense. He's not an MVP. Are you paying Lamar almost all your damn offensive money when who do you have on that offense now? Like take
Just
out
Mark Andrews.
if you sign Lamar to a humongous deal, right? Which by the way is proven when you sign quarterbacks for top 5 money deal, you don't win a ring recently. You just don't. It doesn't happen. All right. So now your offensive budget's gonna be taken away. And now are you gonna be able to resign Mark Andrews? What wide receiver do you have? J.K. Dobbins is eventually going to get paid. Your O-line has been failing over the past few years. Do
But
you
the
pay Lamar that much money?
But the thing about their offense is that it's a run heavy system. So that's and it kind of goes back to what we were talking about running backs too. They could just go ahead and draft one. It's not like they need J.K. Dobbins.
But
It's
Yeah,
nice to have
exactly.
J.K.
At
Dobbins.
the end of the day, though, if you are a team that has no offensive weapons, because like wide receivers, you can't just draft in the 3rd round and just hope they're going to be good like running backs, right? So
Exactly.
with wide receivers, if they don't spend draft capital, which they don't do, like, I mean, this year they had opportunities to get really good wide receivers in the draft, right?
And they didn't. They draft.
They did.
You know what they did in the draft? They drafted not 1 but 2 tight ends.
Which my whole point is,
Isaiah Likely from Coastal Carolina and Charlie KYLER from Iowa State.
I really like Likely, by the way.
And another thing to note too about Lamar Jackson is that Lamar actually fired his agent. Lamar is doing all of this actually now by himself.
Which
Yeah,
is
yeah, no, he
stupid.
did.
That is not smart.
Because I think now what Lamar's mindset is I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna be like, hey, this is how much I'm gonna get paid. You don't want it, I'm gone. And
Exactly.
there's no agent communication. Like, here's the thing: is that the agent and having an agent in the NFL keeps it from having the player in the front office getting into this 24/7. Because
Yes.
enough of this is gonna lead Lamar out of Baltimore.
Exactly.
So let's play the game of hypotheticals for a second. If Lamar Jackson doesn't reach a deal with Baltimore, where does he go?
Well,
You know-
I mean,
You know who would be an interesting swap? Just on my spot to my mind. You know who would be an interesting swap? Like, say he hasn't been impressing in camp. Let's see how camp goes. But say Trey Lance isn't impressing camp for the Niners. What if the Niners package Trey Lance and get Lamar and then extend him? Because Lamar in the Niners offense would be ridiculous.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson in that offense.
Like,
would be-
because Trey Lance
I
reportedly,
agree.
Trey Lance reporting in minicamp hasn't been like a crazy guy yet. He's been kind of mediocre.
I could see the Dolphins trying to push Tua out.
That
to
makes
get
sense.
Lamar.
God, imagine
Uh,
Lamar and Tyreek Hill on the same damn team is just
Yeah.
wild.
And Jalen Waddle too.
Even-
That'd be crazy.
Even though this offense is similar to Baltimore, where really their only main weapon is their tight end, I think if Lamar became a free agent, Atlanta would be chomping at the
They
bit
have
get
to.
him.
That would be a
I
perfect QB for Arthur Smith.
I thought you were gonna say the Eagles for a second.
Like here, maybe, but like say we're a hypothetical. I'll use it kind of like a phrase. So say that Lamar Jackson's out in the water, the Falcons would be that shark circling
Yeah.
him,
They have to be.
trying to get him.
You know the Falcons would throw everything they have.
They would throw
'cause That
everything.
was what happened with Deshaun. The Falcons were the front runners for Deshaun because they were throwing everything.
I could also see the Saints trying to do that.
I think that if the Falcons are so desperate to be back up there in success, I thought that when the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes was going on, I thought they were gonna give him 4 to 5
Dude,
first round picks.
they were offering a ton. It's the
Oh,
only
yeah.
reason. I think the only reason that he took Cleveland was because Atlanta's like, we're not giving you 100% guaranteed. Who does that? And then
Exactly.
Cleveland's like, you know what? We'll do it.
Yeah, no,
Like this isn't soccer, this isn't basketball, this
One more
isn't
thing before-
baseball, where you
Oh.
get every single penny of those contracts.
Yeah.
This is
Especially
the
'cause
NFL,
You
where
get injured a lot.
it's kind of an incentive to get a fully guaranteed contract.
One
Yeah.
thing too I kind of want to talk about too, and I feel like this is also a good topic now since we're talking about like quarterbacks being paid and whatnot. Who gets paid more when their contract years come up? Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert? I feel like
Justin Herbert. I ain't paying Justin Herbert anything this dude wants. I already have Justin Herbert as a top 4 quarterback in the NFL.
I don't.
Or, no, top 5. I forgot about Brady. So top 5. I have him top 5. I'd give him whatever. Like whatever. I would make Herbert the highest paid quarterback. But with Burrow, Let's see what Burrow does this year. This is a big year for Burrow.
Here's the thing. If I'm Cincinnati, and I obviously this kind of actually like kind of goes back to like the Lamar thing. If I was Cincinnati and what Joe Burrow just did, signing
What do you,
him,
what do you mean what he just did?
I'm signing his life away.
Well, I mean, what do you mean he just did that?
He just took him to a Super Bowl.
Did he take them to a Super Bowl?
Okay, my bad. Him and Jamar Chase took him to the Super Bowl.
No. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, what did he go? I think he went in the playoffs. He went 5 touchdowns to 3 interceptions in 4 playoff games.
Yeah,
like that's
I'm looking it up.
Like that's mediocre. Like,
yeah, but I
I'll
mean,
look it up for you, Dylan.
All right.
But I mean, the thing is, what I fear for Bengals fans is Mike Brown, who is the son of legendary head coach Paul Brown, he is a notorious cheapskate.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was reports that he wouldn't even buy bottles of water or Gatorade. That's how cheap he is.
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow's gonna get his money one way or another, whether he's a Bengal or not.
Yeah.
Even as a commander, who knows?
Yeah.
So Joe Burrow had a 97.3 passer rating, 1,105 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in the playoffs.
Which in 4 games. I
97 and also 97 of 142, so that's a 68.3% passer rating, averaged 276 yards per game, and was sacked 19 times.
9 of them by Tennessee. So
yes, and then 7 by the Rams.
Yeah. So what? Again, like it's not that Joe Burrow played bad, but I mean, let's be honest, right? In 4 playoff games, you're hoping for more than 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, in reality, right? The Oakland game, Vegas game, sorry, that was controversial, but he played good that game. Tennessee, that their kicker in the defense won that game. Like, let's be honest here, right? I mean, he made one big throw the whole game. That was the corner route to Jamar Chase to get in field goal position.
Right.
And then who did they play? The Chiefs. Really? I mean, he played decent, but Patrick Mahomes crumbled in that second half.
His offensive line, his O line.
And in the Super Bowl, he was okay.
The Super Bowl, he played everything he was perfect the whole Super Bowl. It was just that last. I think honestly that he could have gotten that playoff to Jamar Chase in that final play of the Super Bowl. But actually, now since we're talking about Cincinnati, doesn't that bring up our next guy?
Yeah, let's talk about Jesse Bates, man, who's currently holding out from Cincinnati because he wants his money.
Yeah,
100%.
He wants his money. And so Jesse Bates is a very good tight end or safety.
Jesse Bates, James, not Bates.
Let me look up his. Let me trying to get his stats, but I'm looking up a Greek philosopher instead, apparently.
Jesse of thy Bates.
Yeah, Jesse of thy Bates. All right. Let me try to pull up. He's a free safety. Obviously, I'm trying to pull up his stats. My fault.
No, he's a
I'm also trying to pull up. I forget what. I think it was.
All
CBS
right.
Sports,
so last year he was
top 5
okay.
teams.
Last year he was okay. He had 1 interception, for 65 yards, which is cool. Let's see how many he had. 4 passes. 4 passes defended. 1 fumble return. I mean, he was okay. He had 88 tackles combined. So last year, by far, by the way, was the worst year of his career. Right. I mean, in every category.
100%.
So I mean,
wasn't he also hurt for a little bit too?
No, he played. I mean, he played 15.
He was also targeted at 36 times last year, and
he played 15 games for him.
Yeah, last season he was only targeted 36 times, and he's only allowed 30 receptions he allowed on big passes and all that. I hate using PFF as a scale to scale players, but PFF graded him as a 56.1 that's a player grade. That's pretty bad comparing to his 2020 year where his PFF grade was a 90.
Yeah, he fell off last year.
According to Cody Benjamin, the top 8 trade destinations for Jesse Bates. I'll go from 8 to 1. Number 8 is the New York Jets. Number 7 is the Washington Commanders. Number 6 is the San Francisco 49ers. Number 5 is the Indianapolis Colts. 4 is the New England Patriots. 3 is the Las Vegas Raiders. 2 is the Dallas Cowboys, and 1 is the Philadelphia Eagles.
This is gonna sound crazy, but I'm gonna. Bro, do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You go first.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. I am scared for any team to pay a safety big money. Reason why? The last time I feel like we saw a safety getting paid pretty big money was Jamal Adams, probably.
Yeah.
Minus Minka. I'm just saying this because Minka hasn't played. So obviously, that's what I'm trying to say.
Well, Minka deserved his money. Let's all admit that.
Yeah, obviously. I'm saying that like
clear. And Madden, you're completely idiotic for not having him as the top 10 rated safety, but that's a topic for another day.
Yeah. It's the only thing is that yeah, I know it's been doing that all day. If we're talking on paying a guy like Jesse Bates that kind of money after him kind of having a down year last year, it's going to be the contract's going to be very interesting. Now, I'm not very familiar with the safety market or whatnot. I just know that Jamal Adams' contract was the huge overpay, and
severely.
And I could see the Commanders only going after him because his fellow secondary member WJ3 is down there too with him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's Washington, we do need the safety help, but I don't know if I'm going to sit there and it's more I'd rather have a quarterback with a crappy mid secondary than a good secondary with continuous quarterbacks. But that's just me about the safeties and all that.
I mean, I can see the Eagles pushing heavy for Bates, mainly because they cut Craig James. Yes, they re-signed Anthony Harris, but I don't really think that they want Marcus Epps starting at safety anymore. And they also have kind of the capital right now to trade for a guy like Jesse Bates.
Yeah. So obviously Tennessee's not going to trade for him with Kevin Byard, but I think the important thing to note about the Jamal Adams thought, right? So if you pay a safety that I feel like when you pay a safety like this type of safety, like Jesse Bates, I mean, Kevin Byard was the highest paid safety in the league for like a year once he got paid.
Yeah.
Minka Fitzpatrick, when you pay these main zone ball hawking safeties, I feel like it works out a lot better than a guy like Jamal Adams, who's really a scheme fit safety. While Jamal Adams is a very talented player, but he's a scheme fit. You have to have a safety. You have to have a spot for Jamal Adams. Because if you have Jamal Adams running as your deep cover 3 safety, you're screwed, right?
Exactly.
So I think you have to, and I think that's the thing is if you pay a guy that, I mean, Jesse Bates, Kevin Byard, Minka Fitzpatrick, they all fit in pretty much any system you want to run.
So was it 2019 or 2020 that he was traded to Seattle?
2020, I think.
Yeah. So it's crazy how if it was 2020, I could just be wrong, but it's crazy how if he was traded in 2020, he went from the New York Jets, which were already bad, to the Seattle Seahawks, who that season alone put up one of the worst passing defenses in NFL history.
Yeah. But remember how much hype that Seattle team had?
Yes, just for them to get absolutely curb stomped by Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, their defense was literally surrounded by Jamal,
Bobby Wagner, and nobody else.
Bobby, Quandre Diggs.
They got Carlos Dunlap at like the end of the year.
In like the middle of the season.
No, remember when the Seahawks made that? No, the reason why they were hyped up, I don't think it was Jamal Adams, but it was also Jadeveon Clowney that was the hype.
He left that year.
Yeah.
No, he left that year.
No, him and Jamal were there the same year. At least they played 1 year. I know they played 1 year.
Because Clowney came to Tennessee in 2020.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And that's when we had one of the worst defenses in NFL history too. Man.
Yeah, Clowney's the problem. But yeah, no, I mean overall,
Clowney's the problem.
Yeah, no, I mean overall, if we're looking at it, Jesse Bates, I don't know how much money that guy really deserves because he deserves money. I just don't know how much money. How much did Minka get paid?
How much did he get paid?
Minka, how much did he get paid?
He got paid like 15 or something like
I'd
that.
have to check. I'll look it up. Hold on.
I know it was like 15 across how many years? I don't remember how many years it was across.
I think it's like 15 a year.
Oh, that's great.
4 years. No, he's actually getting like over
18.247 a year.
Wow, I think Cincinnati's original deal for Bates was like 2 years, 16.5.
No, you know what's crazy? Is Jesse Bates is the 10th highest paid safety in the NFL right now.
Huh.
Yeah, he's gone.
Quandre
good.
Diggs
Yeah,
is
he's out
nine
tonight.
at 13 mil. Where's the rest of these people?
I really want
Which Quandre Diggs, he could be on the move as well because I remember him stating.
He signed back.
Well, here's the thing. I remember him stating, because this was when DK, with all of his contracts and stuff, he stated in a press conference, if DK's going, I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Quandre. I think Quandre already signed.
No, he did sign.
So DK, if DK don't sign, then Quandre's going to request a trade. Then that Seattle team will really go 0-17.
Yeah.
They're only going to go 1-17 because they have DK Metcalf.
Yeah, Seattle has 2 of the top 10 highest paid safeties in the NFL. Jamal Adams, it's still at 2 with $17.5 million a year.
And all of that just to get dotted up by Taylor Heineke. So depressing.
It's crazy. These safety contracts are weird. Eddie Jackson is still top 8 highest paid safety.
I think Eddie Jackson should get tried. I think that the commander should go after Eddie Jackson.
I'm
Marcus Williams
surprised
got
that
the
Eddie is
bag.
still in Chicago.
Dude, screw Marcus Williams. He went to the damn Saints. We should have got him.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
yeah, no, he's not.
He's on the Saints.
No,
No,
I thought he,
No,
No,
he's
he's
on
on
the
the
Ravens. What the
Ravens.
hell?
He's on the
no,
Ravens.
Marcus May went to the Saints.
Yeah.
That stupid people changed names, and then Kyle Hamilton was drafted, and Chris Olave wasn't there anymore either, and we got Jahan Dotson.
All right. All right, guys. So that's going to be the end of the first episode of 4-Man Blitz. Hopefully, next episode we have our 4th man. And we will see you guys next time.
Psych. Broad's actually the 4th person, guys.